Hello, everyone. It's that time again. It's time for this week's episode of Everyday Enlightenment. I have another great question that I'm going to get to. Before I get to that, though, some very important information. There is another video within the videos on my YouTube. Check out the Self Mastery What Exists Beyond Enlightenment. This is going to be a live course that I teach over 16 weeks, 4 months. It's going to be absolutely revolutionary. We're going to get into understandings that are very, very rarely shared within this realm. Some of the things that we're going to talk about are the 4 levels of self realization, and there are levels within self realization. We're going to talk about the 12 tenets of self mastery. And when we terms about self mastery, we can think of what to do and why, as opposed to knowing what not to do. How about what to do and why to live at our highest potential? So we're going to be talking about that. There are 12 laws of self-mastery, and we're also going to be talking about the 12 tenets or the 12 eternal laws. All this is from my direct experience, from my personal perspective. It's groundbreaking, it's revolutionary, it will completely and utterly change your life. And not only that, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be taught live over 16 weeks. So just being part of the energetic transmissions is going to rearrange your body of energy and your frequency. So it's going to be fantastic. I think I don't know when this is going to specifically air, this episode, but as of this recording, there's still time to register, and there is a payment plan as well. So avail yourself of that video, Self Mastery What Exists Beyond Enlightenment, and I truly hope to see you there. Okay, with that, let's get to another really good question. You guys send the best questions for Everyday Enlightenment. Let me just bring this up here. Okay, here we go. Hi, RJ. Day 7 of COVID and almost done. Okay, my EMI is going crazy. Monkey mind. It seems as though it is trying to do a life review of all bad things I've done and playing judge and jury too. It seems as though it's trying to use evidence against me to justify why I need it. It doesn't realize it's the guilty party that caused me to do the bad things in the first place. Here's the question. Will the EMI fight even harder to justify its existence as I walk down the path of self-awareness? If I didn't know better, I'd swear it's time for a rubber room. It's so intense. Okay, all my best, Lauren. Okay, Lauren, thank you. Fantastic question. Okay, the EMI. Yes, the EMI. Now remember, the EMI is the human character that gets created through the severe drop in frequency in terms of physical incarnation. Okay? As we drop down in frequency for the incarnation or the reincarnation to actually take place, we can think of ourselves as losing consciousness into this severest form of amnesia. We have no idea who we are, what we're doing here, why we're here, and what the point is, and what our life plan is. Total and utter amnesia. So instead of knowing and remembering, what do? We literally create a character. We create a human character. That's called the ego mind identity. And these are all the things that you identify yourself with. Now remember, what we are has no name, has no form, has no image, nothing. It's a vibration. This is a suit that we are inside, enjoying and animating in order to experience the physical universe. Okay? The foundation of the EMI is the identification with this suit. You start to think that you're the body. And now we have a huge problem. And then what the body experiences through its 5 senses, we then identify with some of those things. So we see a certain belief. Oh, I'm a that. A certain role that we do. Oh, I'm a that. A certain gender. Oh, I'm a that. Incorrect, incorrect, incorrect. Okay? None of it is true. You're the awareness of it all. And these are your creations. The ego mind identity is created. And what you choose to misidentify yourself with, starting with the body, is the cause of suffering. That's the reason why. Now, the question, great question, does it get more intense through the process, we'll call it, of awakening? Yes. It doesn't want to let go of what it's currently possessing, your consciousness and your body of energy. It needs your attention for it to exist. So of course it's going to fight back. The ego mind, all it does is judge, analyze, compartmentalize, and fragment. It's going to tell you that you need it, because if it doesn't have you, it doesn't exist anymore. So of course it'll fight back. So what is the remedy of this? Pay no attention. Pay no attention. Right? Attention is energy. What you give attention to grows. That's why they call it paying attention. There's an energetic cost to this. So the more you pay attention to the thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations and give them gravitas, the bigger they're going to become, the more important they're going to become. And hence the ego mind identity has control of your consciousness because you're feeding it attention. What is the remedy? Meditation. Stillness, inner silence. There is no ego mind identity without thought. That's why I state in my first book, the ego mind identity is a limitation program that runs by thinking. Really let that statement hit home. Now, one of the quick ways that we can get over this, and yes, Lauren, it'll get worse and worse and worse. So pay less and less and less attention to it. Until finally, it's defeated. Then when the voice in your head ramps up, it just won't have the same sway over you. It just won't. You'll pay it no mind. You'll realize that's just a thought. That's just my programming. That's just my ego mind. That's just my pattern subconscious. Seeking attention, therefore energy, so it can continue to exist. So yes, it'll ramp up. Doesn't matter. Be still, be silent. And say to yourself, I am the conqueror of my mind and body. And feel that. The EMI is a petulant child next to the towering presence and power of the self. But you must put it in its place. And then when you do, the real you is back in charge. Until you do, the EMI will be driving the bus of this incarnation, and life will be torturous. Constant craving, constant judgment, always searching, always yearning, never satisfied, always imbalanced. That's what the ego mind identity does. It is disharmony itself. So we must transcend it. There are many things in the beginning of that first book, Supercharged Self-Healing, that show you the shortcuts to overcome these things. And my second book is going to take it to a whole nother level about the pattern subconscious mind. Second book doesn't come out till next summer. I finally turned it in though. So that's a good thing. Okay, Lauren, this is a great question. Do not fear the ego mind identity ramping up. Okay, it's the thrashings of your own dying consciousness. That's all it is. And for you to be reborn in terms of what you really are, the ego mind identity is going to thrash and thrash and thrash, and then eventually it'll just peter itself out. And then it'll have no sway over you, and you will be free. Fantastic question, Lauren. Thank you very much. Everybody, your questions are great. Please send them to me directly via email, rj@ascendthefrequencies.com. And please, as always, share these videos. Okay, the world needs to understand what they really are and how to operate at their highest levels. Okay, and hopefully this incarnation and these teachings are a pathway and a gateway to your own liberation and freedom. As always, thank you so much. I'll see you very soon for our next installment of Everyday Enlightenment. And until then, be well.